Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I'm sorry guys, I have to change all the narrative of yesterday, because if yesterday I told you how important Juve Sporting was, well guys, it's maybe the last competition in Europe that we are playing for the next few years. Am I exaggerating? Wait, I explain. Yesterday I told you that after the loss versus Lazio in Serie A, which make it more difficult to participate to the next European competition, to arrive to the top 4, after drawing versus Inter, which make it more difficult to arrive to the final and having a ticket to Europa League 23-24, well, this edition of Europa League can potentially, even if difficult, make sure that you arrive to the final, you win, and you participate to 23-24 Champions League. But after reading everything what I read yesterday, after reading in detail, in depth, all the articles of today, looks like the message is really clear from the prosecutors, from the Italian Sporting Court. We will punish Juventus no matter what. We will make sure that Juventus is not participating to any European competition for the future, no matter what. Unfortunately, I can't speak to you about Danilo on that front page. I can't speak to you about the lineup yet, or at least I can't start with it, because we will speak about that towards the end of the video. But I'm obliged to speak about Article 4. What is Article 4? Well, discover it after maximum of like, after subscribing to the video. And now I will explain you should already know. Because do you remember plusvalenza? We were not punished on plusvalenza. This is a myth. Juventus has been punished with a minus 15 points because of Article 4. Article 4 is something that is regrouping everything. It's something that is avoiding that you are guilty about a specific thing. When you can't be punished about a specific thing, they go with Article 4, that is actually not respecting the fair play of Italian sporting justice. Being disloyal, not being loyal to the rules, not following the rules. Something, again, that is regrouping everything. I give you an example. In the first round, a year ago, when Juventus was accused of doing profit cases, plusvalenza, with a lot of other clubs, well, after a first trial, Juventus was found not guilty at the same equivalent as all the other teams, because there is no rule for profit cases. There is no plusvalenza rule. There is nothing wrong, or at least it doesn't exist a rule that is saying that is wrong in swapping player, in signing player, in selling players, having increased values and so on. It doesn't exist. And Juventus was not guilty. They reopened the trial with Giuseppe Chiné. On the day of the trial, Juventus was not anymore accused of this topic, plusvalenza. They avoided all the other teams, and they said Juventus, only Juventus, is guilty of not respecting Article 4, being disloyal, having a system that is against respecting the rules. And that's why Juventus was accused. The request was -9. They spoke about it. They read 140,000 pages in 2 hours, and they decided Juventus needed to have 15 points deduction. One of the motifs were also Juventus need to be behind Roma. For what explanation, we don't know. Well, yesterday, the salary maneuver, at least we will not be surprised anymore, because they are not pointing facts about secret letters, hidden letters, salary maneuver you change. No, they regrouped again everything, avoiding that the players can be possibly investigated or guilty, like a bit with the other club, avoiding that the other ones can be investigated. They do the same with the players. Only Juventus and their management is accused, not on salary maneuver only, but on, again, Article 4. Article 4, where it's really difficult to defend yourself from. This time we will not be surprised, because this time we know it, but we have only 15 days to present our defense, to defend ourselves, which Juventus will do no matter what, because if you can already read the articles, Juventus openly, publicly communicated, we were not disloyal, we were not dishonest, we did everything according to books, it's open, it's public, and we already communicated about it. We will defend ourselves. Okay, so that's really important. No surprise effect, but really strange, again, to not going with one specific point from the Italian sporting justice, but again, Article 4. Also really strange that looking at all the articles, the both cases, they try to merge them, to combine them. If Juventus will receive back the 15 points, like Del Piero said yesterday on CBS, he's feeling. Like Giovanni Armanini said on my channel, he's feeling. Like I told you even if cautious on my channel about the 15 points receiving them back, Juventus will be punished even more in that second investigation, again under Article 4. How much? We don't know. Article 4, you can be punished from 1 point to multiple points. What is multiple points? We have no idea. But it has to have an impact. That's important for the sporting justice. Needs to have an impact. If it's not even enough taking points back this season for Juventus, it can even possibly be split about 2 seasons. An impact this season and even an impact in the beginning of next season. Disaster. Total disaster. Juventus could possibly plea, that means finding an agreement where the penalization is cut in half. Which one? We don't know yet. Could potentially be, but we don't know yet what Juventus will do. We don't know if Juventus will try to find an agreement to close everything as fast as possible, not being impacted for the future. Can be a possibility to say, you know what, we understood that whatever we will do, however we will defend ourselves, we will be punished. So let's find an agreement. We stop it. We accept a smaller punishment so that we can start clean again next year. Can be a possibility, but I don't know. If they keep the 15 points, and we will discover that on the 19th of April, they could be a bit more kind with the next Article 4 punishment on the salary maneuver. Strange, no? For me, it's really strange. Because there are two total different things. Salary maneuver is not impacting sporting justice. It's actually impacting the books. It's impacting the state. It's impacting a company, not the field. Well, they are trying to merge everything with one clear message. Whatever, we will punish Juventus. However, you defend yourself, we will punish you. And you see that 5th point there on the back. UEFA is waiting, not for the justice of the state of Italy, but they are waiting for the sporting justice to go with a sentence, with a verdict. And from there, UEFA will jump in. It's not over, guys. Juventini, it is not over. And from there, they will decide if Juventus can, yes or no, participate to the next European competition. That is Confederation League, that is Europa League, that is Champions League, whatever. Guys, I tell you today, I am angry, of course, but I'm really worried. I have no idea what will happen with the future. And that's why I want to go back on the game of today, because today I don't care about the future. I want to win versus Sporting. I want to do a different performance than what we did versus Inter, versus Lazio, but also versus Verona, also versus a lot of games this season. I want to be aggressive. With what kind of formation, I have no idea today. It can be the one of Tuttosport, the 3-5-2 with the Brazilian defense, Milik Di Maria up front, with the usual midfield. It can be the one of Gazzetta dello Sport that is even looking more aggressive. 3-4-3, Gatti is there, Danilo on the left, Alexandro still on the bench. 4 midfielders, Kostic, Rabiot, Locatelli and Quadrado up front, Chiesa, Di Maria and Milik. 3-4-3, 3-4-2-1, we don't know. But one thing that I'm asking Juventus today, whoever is playing, whatever formation, it's be aggressive. Play against Sporting. Try to beat Sporting, but also try to beat everything that is surrounding you. Yesterday, Danilo and Allegri, they repeated in press conference. We have to think not a lot about what's happening off the field. The management is taking off it. We have to take care on the field. Well, guys, I don't know if you are listening to what's happening off the field, but think about on the field. Think about revenge. Revenge of a season that has been really difficult and a lot because of ourselves. Try to beat Sporting today. Let Juventini be happy, at least for one evening. Let us see the return game in Sporting field with a more optimistic view. Stop the negativity. Juventus, they deserve to have a smile on their face. Anyway, this is what I wanted to say. If you want to know how Sporting is playing and what we have to pay attention for, well, Sporting is a team that loves to have ball possession. You can see in the first image, 55% of the time they have ball possession in the blue zone. That means nearly everywhere. That means that Juventus, again, we know it, versus teams that are having a lot of times the ball, they will probably think about counter-attack. Will we be able to beat them with counter-attack? Well, of course, with the Chiesa from the start, it could possibly be. And that's why maybe Chiesa will start the game to play counter-attack. But I'm expecting much more than parking the bus and going on counter-attack, especially in our home. Sporting is a team that they know how to play that defensive phase. It's a team that can easily, because they are playing that 3-4-3, go back with 5 and being super high on the field. Again, a sign that is opening Juventus to play vertically and fast. The two keywords for Juventus will be vertically and fast, using the counterattacks, but not only parting the bus, using it as a key, as a method to actually beat Sporting. You have to really pay attention to Sporting. They will love to have the possession. If you are able to recuperate it fast with a high pressing and playing vertical, using that velocity of Federico Chiesa, well, attenzione, because you can possibly win it. Guys, that was it for me. This evening I will be on Twitch for the watch along of Juve Sporting. Try to come, say hello. Grazie, forza, Juve.